Our final speaker is Paul Hamberg, and Paul is our student speaker tonight. To put it mildly, Paul is a highly motivated student who has proven himself as a dedicated leader. During his time in Inver Hills, he has served as the regional president of Phi Theta Kappa, that's our honor society, the International Honor Society of two-year colleges. He's been a student ambassador, which means you help future students walk around the college and get to know the school and help in other ways. He's been a student worker on campus. This year he was named the Inver Hills Student Leader of the Year, and today he's graduating with an Associate of Arts degree and plans to continue on to obtain his four-year degree that will allow him to combine his love of education and computer science. And he's kind of narrowed down his options, but I think he's going to the U. If you would please welcome one of the outstanding students here at Inver Hills Community College, Paul Hamberg.
Thank you very much to President Tim Wines. Thank you, Vice President of Academic Affairs, Joan Costello. Thank you to the rest of the administrative team, the staff. Thank you, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, loved ones. But especially, thank you very much, fellow graduates, for this opportunity. Now, before I continue, I have one question. Inver Hills, how you doing? All right, that's a little better, thank you. Now, I've been thinking a lot about how we all got here. What makes us start a challenge like this? Maybe your family or friends told you that you needed to go to school, or maybe you looked at your kids and you decided that you wanted more for them. We all have different reasons, but at some point, we all heard a voice inside ourselves inviting us back to school. And sitting here today means that we listened to that voice and we took advantage of an opportunity. But there was a time that I didn't listen, and I'm going to take you all the way back to second grade right now. And in second grade, my teacher approached me and she said, "Paul, do you want to be in student council?" I was terrified. I had no idea what student council was. I had an opportunity to be part of something. And I remember that little voice in my head beckoning, telling me to do it. But instead, I surrendered to my fear and I turned my back on that opportunity. So my friend Jeff got the position instead of me. And I remember a few days later when Jeff came back from a student council meeting with a big sugar cookie. And it was covered in frosting and he had decorated it. And my heart sank. And I can see the hamster wheels spinning in your heads right now trying to figure out what on earth could be so traumatic about a sugar cookie, right? Well, see, it wasn't just any sugar cookie. It could have been my sugar cookie. And when I saw it, I realized all at once that there was nothing to be afraid of, that the little voice in my head was leading me in the right direction all along. And because I didn't listen, I lost out on an opportunity. Life does not come with do-overs. We get one shot at almost everything. And I may have missed my opportunity to join student council in the second grade, but I learned from that mistake. And when that little voice told me to go to college, when it told us to go to college, we listened. We listened, we came to school, and now we are graduating. And it's really hard to believe standing in front of you right now that this is all coming to an end. Whether you're finishing an associate's degree and moving on to a four-year school or getting your licensure or certificate, today is your day. And no matter what anyone says, and no matter what life brings you, you will always be graduates of Inver Hills Community College. Now, speaking of opportunity, there is no crystal ball for life. We have no way to know what life will present us. But life is, without question, getting faster all of the time. The 20th century, that was the century of oil, but this 21st century is poised to be the century of information. Everything is changing now at a rate unlike anything the world has ever seen. A generation, the shared experience of wars, presidents, movies, music, that used to last 25 years, but now with new inventions coming out almost monthly, there are enough changes in the span of 5 years that we can call that a generation, and it's only getting smaller. And in order to keep up with it all, your college degree is not just going to be useful. It's going to be necessary, because those jobs of the future, they are high tech, and they will need highly trained, specialized employees with college degrees. Now, this degree of yours, it's going to make you a little more money, and I know we all love to hear that. Studies have shown that over your career, graduates with associate's degrees will earn $450,000 more than people with high school diplomas. And that's true. I want you to bear in mind that you are already $500,000 richer in the next 40 years. But I challenge you to listen to that still, soft, persistent voice inside you and look for what you can do to make the world a richer place. Because there is something that you can do better than 10,000 other people. I know that. Find out what it is, develop it, cherish it, and hone it, and do that thing to the absolute limit of your ability. You deserve that. And completing your degree here at Inver Hills is a big step toward finding out what that is. But let's not forget that none of us could have taken that step without the dedication of the educators and staff at Inver Hills. These people work tirelessly, some 6, some 7 days a week, to freely impart their knowledge to us. And what a gift that is, what a treasure to be able to sit and soak up the wisdom and knowledge of those more experienced than ourselves. Every instructor that I approached for help outside of the classroom was more than happy to provide it. All I had to do was ask. And it's for that sort of dedication that I would like to take a moment to thank every instructor, every counselor, every administrator, and staff member for your diligence and your hard work. Let's give them a hand. Now these heroes have not only given us unlimited access to their personal knowledge, but they have broadened the horizons of this school. And it is with their support that Inver Hills has provided us with not only a great education, but a global one as well. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be the century of information. And we really do live in a technological and globalized world, but what does that mean? Those are just big words. Well, it's very simple. It means that with technologies like cell phones, the internet, and email, we are narrowing the gap between our country and the rest of the world. And that means we will be working with a wider variety of cultures and people on a day-to-day basis. And that means that we cannot afford to be isolated anymore. Now, Inver Hills recognizes that fact, and as such, has made acceptance, appreciation, tolerance, and equality central in its aim for diversity. And those values are exhibited in a lot of ways. We have International Week at school. We get to learn about new cultures, new nations, my personal favorite, new foods. I had no idea what injera or shiro were before coming here, and frankly, I can't stop eating them. Of the 40 clubs on campus, 8 are dedicated to multiculturalism, and we have a thriving gay-straight alliance that actually put on their annual drag show just the other day. It was a lot of fun. But diversity isn't just about ethnicity and culture. It's about who we are as students. And we aren't all straight out of high school. In fact, many of us are single parents, working 2 jobs to raise the kids and pay the rent. We're changing careers, or we're just going to school for the first time. We are lots of things, but we aren't ordinary. And that's because an education isn't something you can get just reading a book or watching the History Channel. It's something we have to be deliberate about and show up for, along with all the kids and the jobs and the ups and the downs that come with real life. And that makes it special. Graduating is no small accomplishment. It is the culmination of hours of hard work, perseverance in the face of frustrations, and a desire for enlightenment and a better life. Now today we are being honored as scholars. And when I say scholar, what comes to mind? Names like Aristotle, Einstein, Nietzsche, the academic pillars of modern society, right? Wrong. They were people, just like you and me, who chose the path of enlightenment. We weren't content sitting down and taking life as it was. We decided to listen to that voice, stand up, and be competitive. Now I want to take you back to that story I started with about the sugar cookie. If you remember that. I remember that event so vividly because I lost something dear to me. I lost an opportunity. Fear held me back. But remember that education builds strength, and strength beats fear. And we have armed ourselves with the tools and the knowledge to beat that fear back and seize the opportunities that come our way. Now, I'm supposed to stand here and tell you that the world is your oyster, but it's not. It's your sugar cookie. And don't let someone else walk away with it. Thank you again, and from the very bottom of my heart, congratulations, Inver Hills Community College, class of 2012.
I've known Paul for 18 months, and I know about him that it is all about the food. I know that's true.